Okay, calm down. Listen, in today's video, we're going to be discussing the whitelist, and we're also going to be discussing the situation surrounding jdevice. Is he to blame? Does he even know what's going on? Or is it all from Activision's side? Well, let's crack on with the video. The whitelist talk started for me around November the 2nd, 2020. And this was actually surrounding Magnificent speaking out on stream about the whitelist.
Certain streamers that have a certain amount of influence and maybe have connections within Activision, they get basically white-listed, so they can never really get banned.
But further down the line, around March 2021, we actually had more information around the whitelist, where I was able to get in contact with somebody who was once on the whitelist. That's right, the gaming definition was once on the whitelist. How so? Well, his Activision IDs were on an anti-ban list. This is the whitelist. There are different levels to Call of Duty whitelisters. There are different levels completely. Yes, everybody who has a COD partner code, everybody who is a COD partner is on the whitelist. But there is a subcategory, people who are on it who aren't very well known, who aren't the biggest content creators in the world. But these guys are known for their high level gameplay. These guys are known for doing things in the game that people might deem cheating, even if it's not. So this means that their Activision IDs were protected by Activision, the gaming definition included. And for those who haven't seen his videos, you can go and check them out and you might see why he might need to be protected on a whitelist. And he was actually able to send me proof of emails from an Activision representative proving that the whitelist existed. But still, back then in March 2021, people didn't believe it. Well, they didn't want you to believe it anyway. We had the likes of jgod speaking out as if the whitelist didn't exist. In fact, we even had timthetatman mentioning that it didn't exist.
I'm not doing it. So, and if there's a whitelist, I haven't been talked to about it. So maybe someday we'll get there, boys. You know what I mean? Guess I'm just not relevant enough yet.
Along with many other creators, they didn't want us to know there was a whitelist and that they were in fact on it. But as time went on, more things started to surface. Timthetatman, an extremely large YouTuber and an extremely large Facebook partner, he actually come out and put in a video emails between him and an Activision representative discussing his accounts being placed on an anti-ban list. And even in his video, he claimed that he cannot be banned. Even if he was to use cheats, he could not be banned. This is somebody who is a COD partner. His Activision IDs were protected on a whitelist. He has over 400,000 subscribers on YouTube. He has hundreds of thousands on Facebook Gaming. And this is somebody willing to speak out about it. So he obviously has nothing to hide. But still, after timthetatman speaking out about this and putting his emails, proof that he's spoken to an Activision representative out there for the public to see, you still had the same people denying the whitelist existed. timthetatman, jgod, zlaner, modern warzone, and many more. They laughed at our expense. They laughed and called us crazy. They laughed and said we wear tinfoil hats. But what did they know? And even after they denied the fact that the whitelist existed, even after the fact that we had further evidence popping up left, right and centre, they still denied. But then people, the viewing public, people who watch these large content creators on a daily basis, started to notice behaviours that were out of the ordinary. Some may call it favouritism, others may call it preferential treatment. Either way, people were noticing these things occurring. For example, when Stu Kawaki was playing with what can only be deemed as a group of whitelisted players, Tommy from 100 Thieves, Mutex from, well, no, he's not signed with an org, but Mutex and Tommy were both playing with Stu Kawaki in a tournament when Stu Kawaki's account got permanently banned. And for any casual player in this gaming space, that's the end of the road. In fact, for any small content creator or small streamer who isn't on the whitelist, that's the end of the road. Your account is gone. Not Stu Kawaki though, because lucky for him, as I mentioned earlier, he was playing with some whitelisted content creators, and after a couple of calls and a message here, Mutex was able to put Stu Kawaki in touch with an Activision representative.
I do I do remember. More than likely, that's what flagged this. They're aware, smiley face.
They spoke back and forth on Twitter, and his account was unbanned within 3
What
hours.
the lady at Activision told me. So I told her, I'm not sure if this matters, but when my account got hacked a while ago, that guy did play on my account, if you remember from a while ago. She said she remembers. That's probably what flagged it.
They didn't.
And then she said, can confirm it was your account being hacked and that person cheating on your account that flagged this. They're looking into
3
it.
hours it took for an Activision representative to get Stu Kawaki's account unbanned.
You got it done instantly.
Well, no, I mean, it's no thanks to me. It's just thanks to the person.
I mean,
I'm allowed to say the name, so.
and not only you, but I don't know if Joe's here, Joe too, and anybody else who tried to help.
Even after he claimed live on stream that he had used an unlock-a-tool service.
Because Stu's account got banned because somebody hacked on that account. But it was when the account, someone hacked Stu's account and then cheated on it. So the whole thing of me like, oh yeah, but my mate's got banned, they didn't do anything wrong. You've done some type of cheat on it 100% to get it banned. And everyone's little cop-out, even like Stu's. Me camo, she was me camo.
How on earth is this happening? And since that day, has Stu Kawaki had a shadow ban? Nope. Has he been permanently banned? Nope. I wonder why that is. I wonder if, at that moment, his Activision ID was actually placed on the whitelist. But this is the type of behaviour that started to spark a lot of people's interest in what the whitelist actually was. It got to a point where there were that many people talking about it, there were that many people asking questions, even these large content creators who are whitelisted, their own fans were grilling them regularly about what the whitelist was and if it existed. Although there was plenty of proof already out there, it felt like the fans of these streamers needed to hear it from their mouth. And then on October 13th, 2021, jgod decided to speak out about the whitelist, as did other creators, after they had been invited to a meeting behind closed doors with Activision staff. They were able to get information from the Activision personnel, but what information were they told they were allowed to say and were not allowed to say? Because you have to remember, within these meetings there are probably NDAs being signed, right? Maybe there aren't, but maybe Activision only told them a select amount of information to try and quiet the community down. Because in fact, after months, maybe a year, close to a year, of denying the fact that the whitelist existed, jgod came out and stated that it did. But it's not what you thought.
One of the things they talked about during the Q&A portion was this supposed whitelist that a lot of people talk about, and it seems like there's a lot of confusion on this. The guy pretty much explained, the guy who was in charge basically explained they use a whitelist for two different reasons.
So the whitelist exists in the way it does, and it not being what we thought it was, although it's exactly what we thought it was and more, it's kept the door open, only slightly. But I feel the more recent footage of the jdevise has actually caused people to realise that there is maybe a hell of a lot more to a whitelist than what meets the eye. Content creators denying the fact that it existed for a very long time, even though they probably know their account is on it due to the fact, like timthetatman, he had email proof of a conversation that occurred where he had to give his personally to an Activision representative. So anybody denying the whitelist who is in fact whitelisted, or anybody who denied it in the past who is now stating that it does exist, they have been lying to you. The reason we know this is because they will have had to have passed on their Activision ID to a representative at Activision for it to be added to a whitelist. So this situation with jdevise, he's claiming that it's nothing to do with him. He's claiming that he doesn't know what's going on. jdevise is saying to me that I need to use my platform properly. So I'm going to say this. I am going to use my platform properly. I don't want people to think jdevise here is to blame, because he's not. If anything, when it comes to the whitelist, the people to blame are the game developers who decided to incorporate such a thing into their game to protect certain people. Yes, he probably knows he's on the whitelist, and yes, he probably knows some of the details behind what the whitelist actually does, but he isn't to blame. No individual creator is to blame for being on the whitelist. If you were offered the opportunity to go on it, would you? You probably would, but does not mean you are to blame, because essentially it shouldn't really exist. Yes, I can understand the reporting game. Yes, I can understand a couple of the other things. But to have this kind of behavior where you can't take damage from a cheater whilst everybody else in the lobby has to deal with it, that is bang out of order. That is stat padding. That is actually manipulating the outcome of a game. Because if a game developer can do that for one person, that means they can do it for everyone. If somebody is cheating in the game, then they should be able to stop that cheater from actually causing damage to anybody in that lobby, and not just one specific person. It's bang out of order. But hear me out. There is plenty more to go with this. There is so much more digging we need to do as a community to find out what on earth is going on. And is it actually in fact linked to the whitelist? People have used hacking Fredwood as an example as to why this can't be specific to people on the whitelist.
Look at that, bro. How? It might just be the gun. Look,
Well, let me tell you this. If Activision can hand select people on the whitelist to state, don't cause damage to them, don't cause damage to them, and so on, then they can definitely hand select a very well-known cheater who live streams very regularly to make sure he doesn't cause damage to anybody. Which brings me to the next point. If they can do that and cause him to not cause damage to anybody, basing that off knowing who he is, then they should be able to permanently ban every account he ever creates. But not just that, they would be able to actually do this to every cheater in the game. So imagine a mix of this. This is the perfect ideal solution. Every cheater in the game can't cause damage to anybody. Every player in the game has that same treatment that jdevice got, where they don't receive damage from a cheater. But throughout all of this, one thing is for sure, Activision have shown their hand. They are able to actually manipulate the game's outcome. They can dictate which person causes more damage or less damage. They can dictate who wins a gunfight based on them making changes to outputs and inputs in the game. So what's to say they're not doing this on a regular basis? What's to say this isn't actually included in skill-based matchmaking? And this leads me back to something that I spoke about in a video on December 13th, 2020, when Activision's patent was leaked. And Why So Serious, another YouTuber, had spoken about this live on stream as well in a lot of detail, talking about hit registration, talking about aim assist, everything you can think of that looked like they were able to manipulate the game's outcome in every gunfight. If you are a sweaty player, then your hitbox is smaller. If you are a bot, your hitbox is bigger, and so on. There were many variables within the patent. And again, the same people who denied the whitelist existed, well, they claimed that all the things within that patent were meant for offline gaming, yeah? So like campaign mode or playing against bots, right? This is what they claimed. I wonder if they've changed their mind about that now as well. How many times has a content creator told you something in this game doesn't exist, when in fact, they end up saying it does further down the line? jgod claimed there was no skill-based matchmaking. Guess what? There is. jgod claimed there was no whitelist. Guess what? There is. And jgod has claimed in the past that none of these top-level Warzone players are cheating. I wonder if this will follow the pattern, and it turns out they are. Because they probably are. So whilst I've been talking about the whitelist in detail today, guys, there is so much more digging to do. The information that we've pulled out over the past 2 years is quite a substantial amount of information regarding the whitelist. I want to do some digging further into what the whitelist can be capable of, possibilities, scenarios. I want to talk about the patents and if that could also be linked to the things we're seeing. Can Activision actually manipulate gameplay for casual players, legitimate players, as well as cheaters? I want to find out all this information. If you guys can do some digging as well as myself, that would be great. Let's work together as a community and get to the bottom of this. If you did enjoy today's video, guys, make sure you hit that thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos. If you want to support the channel further, hit that blue join button today and become a member of the Triple B fam. Just don't be silly. And don't forget, guys, you can come and follow me on Twitter at badboybeaman. Until next time, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace!